Previously on Make Art Every Day. A catastrophic event made me realize that I lost the plot as an artist and made chasing money a priority. This pursuit has only made me broke. Not just financially, also with basic necessities, health, relationships, and fun. All the pillars of a good, rich life in ruins. And this is probably the worst it's ever been.
Let me tell you something you already know. The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, or nobody is gonna hit as hard as life. But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done. Now, if you know what you're worth, now go out and get what you're worth. But you gotta be willing to take the hits and not pointing fingers saying you ain't where you wanna be because of him or her or anybody. Cowards do that, and that ain't you. You're better than that.
To break free from my self-destructive behaviors and regroup with my purpose, I'm choosing the pain of discipline over the pain of regret. I've concluded that if I'm gonna save my life, I need to make art every day. This here's an old drawing from a sketchbook, and I wanted to finish it while I talk about finding purpose, how I know my purpose is to be an artist, how I lost it, and how I found it again. I recently heard about a Japanese philosophy that can help you find purpose, and it made sense to me. It's called Ikigai, which translates to reason for living, or you could say, your purpose. You start by figuring out what you love, then figure out what you're good at. Now ask yourself what you can be paid for. You can also think of this as asking yourself, how can I make a living from what I love so I can keep doing that all the time? The last piece is to figure out what the world needs. You can think of this as asking yourself, how can I contribute? When you know what you love and you get good at it, you found passion. But with only these two in place, it might mean that you have a cool hobby that only you care about and it doesn't make you a living. When you take what you're good at and what you can get paid for, you've got yourself a profession. A job you might not love or feel too strongly about. Then, when you're doing what you can get paid for and what the world needs, you have a vocation. You've got a sense of duty, and you're making some scratch. But you might not be in love with the work. Maybe a little insecure, because you might suck at it too. When you pair what you love with what the world needs, you're broke, but you have a mission. You've got goals and you're making plans. Then there's this configuration. Sweet, now figure out how to get paid before that fire goes out. And this one, nice. You have an important job, and it might be making you miserable. Then there's this one. Okay, you're doing work you really care about, work you think is really going to make a difference, but you need to get better at it quick. You're about to get sacked. I saved this one for last because I have a warning from personal experience. If you turn your passion into a job without bigger goals and a sense of duty, you're in danger of burning out and resenting what you used to love. All that time developing your skills for nothing. Now, when you've been able to unify all these things and put them into balance, you found your purpose, your reason for living. You've got a clear direction to move in and something to be excited about every morning when you wake up. I found the things that I love at a really young age, and I still love them now at a really old age. I found my love for visual art and storytelling through the funny pages, comic books, and animation. I can't exactly remember when I fell in love with music, but I'm pretty sure it was this exact moment captured on film. So I became passionate about my love for the visual and audio arts. I studied them and practiced them until they became what I was good at. But was I good enough to get paid? Yes. As it turns out, I had become good enough. And it started with music. Paid gigs turned into record contracts, and album sales led to soundtrack work, and so on. And then during this time, I got asked to do an album cover from another band that I was friends with, for money. Next thing you know it, I'm off to the races, and now I'm an illustrator. Not just doing album covers, but I got work in comic books, children's books, and skateboard graphics, among other things. I even had a couple art agents at a better time in my career. And initially, what made me see that I was doing what the world needed is because people showed up asking for what I was doing, through clients and a fan base that my bands had developed. I don't think I could have articulated it at the time, but I think art, in whatever form it takes, is important. It doesn't just give us an escape or provide the entertainment we all need from time to time. It can also move culture. It can make us feel hope in a world that feels so bleak sometimes. It has the power to inspire us to do great things, and it inspires innovation in industry and technology. And even though I couldn't articulate it, I know I felt it back then, and I still feel it now. It's what I needed as a kid, it's what I need now, and knowing that I'm not unique, I'm sure a lot of other people do too. This has given me a sense of duty to turn art into my purpose, and have a mission to carry it out. Yep, life is pretty good when you're acting on your purpose, and I may have painted it through rose-colored glasses here, but it's not the easy path. There's lots of hurdles and bumps in the road, but your purpose can give you the strength and energy to persevere through challenges and obstacles that get put in your way. That is, unless you let your moments of weakness override your purpose. I had one of those catastrophic events that I've been talking about a few years ago, and I transitioned from illustration, taking some work doing design to help me through. I didn't necessarily love it, but a lot of the times, I kind of liked it, and I was thankful for the work. I thought it was just going to be temporary to get me back on my feet anyway, and I was still working on personal projects at night. When my contract ended, I moved on from that job, but I didn't move away from design. Because here's the kicker. I found the type of design I was hired to do was a lot easier and less laborious than the illustration work I was doing. Then I got hit with another one of those pesky, catastrophic events, and it coincided with the failures of 2 creative projects I had poured my heart into. It kind of knocked me on my ass, and I didn't know what to do exactly. Because see, all the facets of the art I make, illustration, writing, videos, music, etc., were all screaming for separate attention, and I got a bit overwhelmed. I think I let the stress get the better of me, and I noticed a sign that said, "Shortcut." It was pointing to a smooth path that was going downhill. Man, I'm an idiot, and I ran down that easy road. Here's what I found out. There's still clients on the easy road, but the standards are way lower. Cut rate pricing and speed beats quality every time. And to meet those expectations, my design work devolved into nothing more than clip art, with little to no manipulation on stock fonts. And here's that 20-minute design special you ordered to go on all those hats, patches, t-shirts, stickers, and the website for your doo-doo farm. Next, I stopped caring, and my only mission was to get paid. I never forgot about what I wanted to do. I don't know, maybe it was the depression, but I always found an excuse to get back to it tomorrow. A little less than a handful of years later, and fairly recently, I was sitting in my former office feeling pretty bummed out, and I started rethinking my life and the events and choices that I allowed to get me to that point. And then it hit me, and I felt stupid because why didn't this dawn on me sooner? All those facets of my art that excite me, storytelling, drawing, painting, music, audio recording, and video making, could all be combined. They didn't have to be separate. They're all the ingredients I need to start making animated films. Hell, that's what I went to art school for in the first place, and a dream that was never really realized. My purpose came back, and I got to work. I got back to making videos intending for my focus to be on animation, to have some accountability while I was practicing it and making animated films. But I had no idea what was coming. And just because plans got changed doesn't mean I'm giving up on animation. So if you'll excuse me, I just want to do another exercise from the Animator's Survival Kit real quick. There it is. That one. Alright. And cool. I'm done. Now where was I? Oh yeah. It'd be unrealistic of me to think we always get to do work we love. We have to do what we have to do to survive sometimes. And that work might not always be our reason for living. But if I wasn't such a blockhead and I had a better mindset, I'd have realized that even when you're doing work you don't really care too much about, you can leverage it so you can pay your bills, pay your rent, and eat, so you can survive another day to build something far superior with your purpose. Hell, I should have been counting my lucky stars, despite what I thought of the quality. I was still working in the art field. Between phone calls, designs, and after hours, I could have been working on art that was important to me. It's hard not to think of all the wasted time and the body of work I could have had. Maybe it would have saved me from being within an arm's length of rock bottom. Maybe it would have given me a better safety net. Maybe if I went through the pain of discipline instead of feeling the pain of regret, I'd have a totally different life. But I've already beat myself up enough for this. It's my fault, I've made amends with that, and I've learned some very valuable lessons. I've been able to see a cycling, self-destructive pattern that keeps getting worse with each rotation. Live my purpose, win. Get complacent, lose. Rinse and repeat. Now with my battle plan and disciplined daily action, I can see a way to reverse this. And knowing that bad things are bound to happen, this new course changes those catastrophic events into bumps in the road, obstacles, annoyances, hurdles, and challenges to overcome and level up. I got back on the right path too late to save myself from complete catastrophe this time, but I still managed to get there. And now I have a big mission ahead of me and a war I'm happy to fight. I'm not gonna lie, starting over at my age feels pretty scary, but I don't see any other options if I'm gonna save myself and live a worthy life. I figure that living and operating the opposite way from how I have been the past few years is worth a shot, and I'm pretty fired up about it. But will I succeed? I don't know. I guess you can follow to find out. What if I fail? What if I die before I reach my goals? Well, then I die on the road fighting. I gotta get out of here and make some art. It's time for action.
Hey, thanks for watching, everybody. Until next time, there's some exclusive videos over there on Patreon, and I gotta hurry up because Because if I don't get back here at Chipotle, my tip's going down.